topic, Walking with the Comrades, it's not a novel as you are thinking. It's an article. Okay, it's an article written by the great writer Arundhati Roy. We all know about Arundhati Roy. Her famous work is God of Small Things. She was became very popular when she wrote this particular work, God of Small Things. And after that, around 10 to 12 years, she was writing only articles. Okay, she used to travel a lot. She used to travel, and she had visited in the political sites and all, and got minute details regarding those politicians and terrorisms, okay, Naxalite, Maoists, these kind of organizations. She was very keen in looking into the information of those people, and finally she wrote this article, Walking with Comrades. So comrades, we usually say, what do you mean by comrade? Friend. We know comrade is friend, but here it means a member of armed people. Okay, one of the member of an armed people. Okay, who carry weapon. Okay, so this is Walking with Comrade, an article written by Arundhati Roy, and this article, it's documents the weeks she was documenting many things regarding the people for weeks. She had spent with Maoists. Okay, we all know about Maoists, Naxalites, and all those things, no? So she was spending weeks. We cannot imagine that a writer of great fame, she had spent time with Maoist people, and she entered into the forest area, and she got permission for that, and entered into that places near inside forest jungle places, and she spent weeks after weeks, so many weeks she had spent with the Maoist. And the reason why she wrote this particular article, which is there was many perplexity we have about Maoist, Naxalites and all those kind of people. We have a negative impression of those people. But she says that it's not at all a bad thing. Okay, they are fighting for their rights. Her point of view is that, Arundhati Roy's point of view is Maoist people or Naxalites, they are fighting against the government. They are just resisting, okay, resisting the people, those who are coming to fight with them. Okay, that was her point of view, and she goes into that place and spends time and collects all the stories that they had. Okay, even we have a comrade. Okay, one of the, so many comrades are there. We have one of the comrades, his name is Venu. Okay, he was the one, he was actually the keeper of keys. They used to say, Arundhati Roy used to say, keeper of keys. He has many information regarding it, and he will, like a historian who tells the story, he will used to say all the stories in this article. Okay, and this particular article, that I already told you, they had bad impression regarding Maoists, Naxalites and all. They are living inside the forest areas, and the government wants to make them flee away from that area, right? But before that is behind that information, no, behind that thought, government has some other thing in their concept, no, because they had signed many MOUs, memorandum of understanding. They had signed many MOUs, and that too secretly. Okay, they have signed so many MOUs with corporate houses, like we have Tata and all those things, no? So many highest corporate industries are there. So nowadays we are very familiar with Ambanis. So these are all highest corporate people who are pressing them. They had their own dealing with government, and they have secretly signed so many assignments. Okay, that is not at all public. So in this area where these people are living is finally, okay, it is filled with this kind of Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Orissa and West Bengal, these areas, you know. So people are mostly living in this area are tribal people. Inside this area, these things are filled with mineral rich forest. We say mineral rich forest. It's filled with bauxite, iron ore and all sort of things. Okay, and this is one of the picture where she talks with the Maoist people very closely. She's sitting with them, and even one of the article in between the article, we see that she had written eaten and chutney, okay, with them. So some kind of information has been given, And for them, no, to vacate these people, these innocent tribal people. So already Maoists are there. They are a few people are there inside the forest, and they are training these people, training these tribal people also to resist, okay, from this government, who are already they have planned to send many thousands of armed policemen inside the forest area to vacate them, okay. The reason behind that is the place where they are living, it is filled with minerals like aluminum. I already told you, aluminum, bauxite, iron ore, and all sort of things. So in this modern world, aluminum is very important for the weapon industry. So each and every product they use, for weapons, they want aluminum. So there is a great deal of deal in this, okay, in this mineral-rich area, and so they are even having training, okay. Israel's Mossad training 30 high-ranking police officers in target assassinations. So they are even sending people from India to get training to war, okay, to wage war against the India's poorest people who are living inside the forest area. Okay, so these armed men are waging war against the poorest people in India, those who are eating, so even in their houses, where the people are living, in their houses, it's in the article inside, 2 rupees, okay, they are eating 2 rupees ration rice, okay, for their livelihood. They don't have anything other than that, okay, and for those people, they are making trainings, getting trainings from this kind of Israel Mossad. And Mossad is one of the secret intelligence service, okay, which is training many people like Iraq, America, and all sort of things, So Israel and Iraq, all sort of problems were there, we know everything that today. So that main company, it is training 30 high-ranking police officers in target assassination. And then they are sending laser range finders, thermal imaging equipment, and unmanned drones, which is very popular with the US Army. These kind of things has been introduced to India to kill these people, poor people, that is tribal people. We have the concept, people are away from those villages, we have the mindset that these people are very, they are very cruel, okay, they are Maoists, they are Naxalites, they may anytime kill us. So we have that kind of idea, but Arundhati says they are all very poor people, they are innocent people. Okay, so that kind of people are being attacked by the government of India, and this government, in spite of this government, they need to help them. But out of that, what are they doing? They are waging war with these people. And Brigadier B.K. Ponwar, okay, he is one of the chief who is training, turning corrupt, sloppy policemen into jungle commandos. So we have all sort of policemen. We know how policemen are. Okay, some people are very intelligent, very very brave, and do all sort of things. And some people will be there, they used to go and come as like to get a job or something like that, constable or something. So that kind of people, they go for this camp. And this Brigadier B.K. Ponwar, he's training those sloppy policemen into jungle commandos. Okay, they even run a jungle warfare organization, okay, to train these kind of policemen. And they even take street dogs and make the policemen, the dog the police used to have, to kill the people, to track the people and all. So they are training that kind of thing, and they are calling the slogan as fight guerrilla like a gorilla. So they call these people as tribal people, So they are calling them as gorillas. Fight gorilla like gorilla. And even they point out the name, they are gorilla, okay? Gorilla army, they are from gorilla army, and like that they are saying in government terms. And their people are like that. They have a total discipline. When they see when they are staying in one particular place, they don't even left one kind of track for the policeman to make them identify. So they'll very carefully do all sort of things and go in line. And Salva Judum, it is very important in this particular article. It is also called as purification hunt, peace march. joint operation by the state of Chhattisgarh and the Congress party. The both state of Chhattisgarh and the Congress party, they mingle together and make this thing that is Jalwa Judum, which is they, in their term, they are calling it as a purification hunt. They are going to purify. Okay, they are going to do something for the peace of the Indian people. They have that kind of attitude. But deep inside the heart, what is their reason behind? Corporate world, they want the land, okay? And it's millions of money they can earn out of that land, okay? That is the reason, and government had signed so many MOUs. And for this, they are pressurizing the government. So out of that, what are the government doing? They are making unarmed, armed soldiers to get inside the forest area and killing the people and making this Salva Judum. And the main character of that Salva Judum is Mahendra Karma. He is a Congress MLA. Okay, he was leading that. And Dandakaranya forest, this is a place where Arundhati Roy goes inside. Okay, this place is mineral rich place, and this is the place Arundhati getting into. And secret MOU is already mentioned, which was signed by Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Orissa and West Bengal. The governments of Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Orissa and West Bengal. So they signed this MOUs. That was the problem for MIS people. What doesn't seem to be uppermost on their minds? Ordinary people. So these people, the tribal people, their name is Gond, okay? They are Gond people, tribal Gond people, and government calls them to be left-wing extremism. They are giving a term for these people as left-wing extremism. They are fighting, okay, they are the people who are so very violent. Left-wing extremism, that is, people are very violent there. And anti-nationals, they are not at all, we know what is anti-nationals. So government calls them as left-wing extremism and anti-nationals, and what is the mindset of these people? War doesn't seem to be the uppermost of on their minds. So they don't take war as the priority. These people, they don't take war as priority. They just resisting the war which is made by the government, by their own government. Okay, so that was the thing. And these three were the important organization that they make themselves, tribal people, that is Maoists. PLGA, the People's Liberation Guerrilla Army, PWG, People War Group, KAMS, Krantikari Adivasi Mahila Sangadam. So PWG was the first organization they made themselves, People War Group. Okay, so that was the first one, and then later on they extend their thing to PLGA, and then they formed another organization for the women, tribal women, okay, especially for the tribal women, that is Krantikari Adivasi Mahila Sangadhan. So comrades, we have certain comrades, their names are given. Narmada, in charge of the Krantikari Adivasi Mahila Sangamam, and Mase, one of the comrades, many of the comrades here, they had a price on their head, okay. If the government, if the policemen see them, they can immediately shoot them on the spot. Okay, they can encounter them. So Mase, Rupi, the tech wizard, Raju, an advocate in Rajpur, both of them actually, Raju and Malati, they were living inside the city area to give details regarding the city side. And finally what happens, his wife has been caught by the police, and the case was going on for a long time, and they had even 2 children, and they do not know what was their present situation. Okay, they later in the final article only, he used to find the children are safe and sound. And Venu, the keeper of the keys, I told you, comrade Venu, he was a storyteller who tells everything to Arundhati Roy. Okay, and he says everything. And Kamala, Nilesh, he is actually one of the brother of this comrade group, and this Nilesh, he became his brother is SPO, okay, he is Nilesh, he is one of the comrades in this group, and his brother has become SPO in the sense special police officer. I'll tell you later. And then lastly, Leng, the master of ceremonies. The article ends with Master Leng, okay, and these are some of the important things the PWG was doing. People War Group, the first one is land to tiller. So basically what happened, the tribal people, they had some mukhiyas, that is village a chief will be there, Mukhya's village chief, and this Mukhya's will, what will they do? Some of the tribal peoples will be there, they had their own lands, and whenever they first of all reap their land, they have to call them, call this Mukhyas and everything. And then only they can reap their own land. First they have to reap the Mukhyas land, and then only they can do all sort of things for their land. And what happened one particular time, when PWG entered, okay, people war group, they are helping them in all sort of things, okay, this for these tribal people they are helping a lot, and so they neglected, one point of time they neglected the Mukhyas, okay, they neglected and Mukhyas, and favorable or for PWG, and land to tiller, they wanted to have their own land. First of all, they had certain restrictions in their areas, and so they started protesting for that. That was a protest they began with, land to tiller. In that land to tiller protest, PWG helped them a lot. So that was the first thing they started protesting against the authority people. Tendu leaves, another thing the people know, they used to sell tendu leaves, and it was 3 pies when they began, okay. The person who are above them will earn a lot, but these people, common tribal people, they'll give less, meager amount. But they had 3 pies when they sell the product. But what happened? This PWG, they started protesting, and everything, agitations happened and everything. Then finally, they changed their salary as for one tendu parcel they'll give 1 rupee. So like that they changed. Then Balarpur paper mills. So it's again another protest which in this Balarpur paper mills, the tribal people has to take bamboo sticks and all. Okay, they have to take bamboo sticks, and they have to sell everything. But they got only 10 pies for that. And later, after protestation, they used to ask help with PWG, and they'll help, and later they increased 30 pies. And again, what happened? People are making their lives even worse than before. Okay, after this kind of MOUs has been signed. So forest department, they started doing their work. They, very early morning, they enter into the village. Okay, they had so many villages inside, okay, small villages will be there. They had their own places, and they'll cultivate their own vegetables and everything, and they'll eat. So forest officers, they'll come in early in the morning, and they won't make anything to do. Okay, the people cannot do anything. They'll just destroy everything, okay, and they won't make them collect the woods and all sort of things. They won't make them pluck the fruits inside the forest area. So all sort of things they started doing. And then one particular time they had informed that there is a national park is going to come here. So you have to vacate from this place. Around 60 villages has to leave. So almost thousands of people will be there, thousands and thousands of people will be there. So the forest officers informed that we are going to do this national park in Bijapur. You have to leave the place. So for that also PWG, they had entered into the place and taught a good lesson to the forest department, and after that they won't enter, okay, they won't get inside the forest to spoil their lives. Then demolished construction and stopped eviction of people. They even started constructing the national park, but they had stopped it, PWG. And then this was actually the people, one of the tribal women, okay, and you can very easily, you can see them, okay, very common people, ordinary people, and very casually they are wearing this weapon. Each and everyone will be having the weapon, okay, it's very common there. And we also had Janatana Sarkars, okay. At one point of time, they do not want to be a part of India, okay, under the government of India. They had themselves a government, people's government, Janatana Sarkars, okay, it was hidden inside. Janatana Sarkars, that is people's government, and they had 9 departments also. They had well organized, okay, that departments. You have Krishi, agriculture, you have trade and industry, economic, justice, defense, health, public relations, education and culture, and even to save the forest area. So for that also they are having a department. And Mahendra Karma, I already mentioned his name, he was one of the Congress MLA, no? And he is very important in that Judum, okay? And he was first the member of Communist Party of India, and at that time only, I already mentioned about Mukhyas, who are owning the land and for chief for the tribal people. So he called Mukhyas and landlords and made a public awakening camp, okay, public awakening camp, which is Jan Jagran Abhiyan, okay. So what was the reason actually? to vacate the people. That was happened. 300 men to comb the forest, killing people, burning houses and molesting women. So that was happened when he started doing this public awakening campaign. So the term expresses a good thing, okay, public awakening campaign. But what happens really is really bad, okay, they are patiently taking everything. Secret, then this man, Mahendra Karma, he secretly arranging a meeting, okay, and announcing this Salva Judum, and which is actually different from Jan Jagran Abhiyan, public awakening campaign. It is different from public awakening campaign, but the things happening are the same. They are killing people, they are burning houses, everything is same, but there is a difference because it is actually called as ground clearing operation. Ground clearing operation, the first and foremost thing they are going to do is vacating people. So that was the main thing they are thinking here in ground operation, clearing operation, and it has a military term also, which is strategic hamleting. It is devised by General Sir Harold Briggs. So they are for each and everything they have their own terms, government terms and all sort of things, and they are doing it very sincerely. And Operation Green Hunt is a foremost thing, no, we need to know from this article. Operation Green Hunt, the word itself is very ironical actually. Operation Green Hunt, what do you mean by Operation Green Hunt? Can you say about it? Green Hunt, green, saving nature, ecology and all sort of things. Operation Green Hunt, they, by saving, no, they thought of saving the ecology. They were actually, what's their plan? To vacate people from that place. From vacating people to the other places, and then they'll tell them that we'll give houses and all, and then we'll give you right to vote and all sort of things, and finally they'll live in slum area. If a flood comes, it flush away all the huts. So that's going to happen. But they're calling it as Operation Green Hunt. Okay, and BJP government in Chhattisgarh signed 2 MOUs. This was, actually they had signed so many MOUs secretly, but these two was very important, that is 70 billion with SR Steel in Bailadila and 100 million with Tata Steel in Lohandiguda. So these were the 2 major projects they had. Okay, and only for these 2 major projects they are doing all sort of things. And 70 billion, so this particular Tata Steel in Lohandiguda, they actually the government need to have some hearing from the people who are living. So actually it's a procedure to do that. But what happened, this people from that BJP areas, they called certain people, they hired certain peoples, okay, and they tells them, I'll give you amount and something, and they takes them in a truck or truck and takes them inside a collectorate office. Actually it has to be done inside the area of Lohandiguda publicly, but it happened in collectorate, carrying a few people from the village. Okay, and they themselves declared that the people are very willing to do this. So before doing this contract, Tata Steel for 100 millions and all, they had to get permission from the people who are staying, living there, and they themselves hired some people, and they themselves declared that they are very interested in that. Okay, so that was one of the things happens here, but they actually not at all interested in anything. And SPOs, I already mentioned, these are special police officers who had sprouted out from this operation, that Salva Judum, okay, that ground clearing operation. So the government informs the people that if you are staying inside the village for a long time, we will consider you as Maoist. We will consider you people all as Maoist and will attack you. So you have to come out of your village and you have to stay in the camps which we have allotted for you. Okay, so some people, mostly many of the people have vacated the area and came. And some people has been given money, okay, for 1,500 rupees and made us special police officers who are actually tribal people. Who vacated the place from their villages, no, forest areas. So they made these people as special police officers and they are giving amount for them. Okay, and what are they going to do now? These special police officers are going to wage war against the people, their own people who are living inside the village. Okay, that was the plan. And these people, they have out of money, no, they don't have anything for their livelihood. So if the government told that we'll provide 1,500 a month, they immediately joined there because they had a job now. Okay, so immediately joined, and I already mentioned the comrade Nilesh, you remember? Comrade Nilesh, his brother is one of SPOs, but he is a comrade. He is inside the village and fighting for his people's right, but he became SPO, and he is living with his father here in the camp, and mother is living with Venu, he is a comrade. So some kind of things are happening here, and for this main project, these people have been splitted like armed police. See, they are giving so many operations, no, and they are making different armies. Central Reserve Police Force, Border Security Force, Indo-Tibetan Border Police. So they are giving, when they do not have job, where they have appointed them, but they do not get job properly. After that, Maoists, they were fighting for their rights, and they had no job there, and so the people have been shattered like this, okay, in different other organizations. And report says Tata Steel and Essar Steel were the first financiers of the Salva Judum. So these people, okay, these corporate people, they were the first financiers to do this Salva Judum, okay, to ground clearing operation. And Gatsa Isendi, he's a chronicler of that people, tribal people, and the name of that, it's not the name actually, the name given to the chronicler. Gatsa Isendi, it's a name given to the chronicler, and the worst thing of his job, okay, he is chronicler, he's recording all sort of informations. Okay, as for our government, no, they are having their own people, clerks, and all sort of jobs are there, no. The same way, these people also having good records, okay, and collecting everything in detail. And the worst thing about being Gatsa SND is issuing clarifications that are never published. So in newspapers, we'll see so many informations that Maoists had killed this much of people. Maoists had entered into the village suddenly, and 3 policemen had been killed. So we got negative impression regarding Maoists in all the newspapers and medias, which is 95% was in the hands of corporate world. Okay, so they'll favorably talking for them. And this Gatsa SND will declare, he'll issue some clarification that we are not the responsible person. It had done like that, but nobody is there to care for it. Okay, nobody is there. They never publish it or publish it in the newspaper that it's not their charge. They never publish that in their newspaper. So this was a very worst thing that they faced. And Gai Yojana, Naxalites, so these are some of the examples Arundhati mentioning in the article. So Gai Yojana is Gai, actually Hindi word, cow, okay, they are during election time, they are providing cows for family people, okay, for each and every home they are providing. As for now, we are having, you know, people used to give TVs or that kind of thing. So they had provided cow for each and every family. But what happened, one dealer, he got everything, and he had sold it to some other place, and he earned money. But what happened, it was published in the newspaper as they had killed slaughtered all the cow provided by the government. So Maoist people, they slaughtered all the cows which was provided by the government for their favor. Okay, so that was the thing was coming in the newspaper. But actually what happened, the cow which was provided to a dealer, and this man had sold those cows and he settled. Okay, that was happened, but nobody is there to clarify these things. Naxalites massacred dozens of poor Adivasis. So it was headlines coming in newspaper. Naxalite had massacred poor Adivasis. But what happened? The people, no, policemen, they are attacking them, and these people are resisting, and in that 3 policemen have been killed. Okay, that was not coming on the newspaper, but rather Adivasis, they killed Adivasis, tribal peoples themselves, like that. So they have changed this. Like this press reports, informers were killed, not the many that are left. So press reports, you know, who will go there and meet them personally and take all sort of records, you know, they'll get things. So, enna solranga? They are telling them that reporters, they had been discharged by them, okay. So these people, almost 12 or 14 people were there, reporters, but they had all, these people had freed them all, okay. But in newspaper, they told them, press reports, informers who are killed, not the many that are let off. So we have sent so many, but many of them have been killed, like that they have informed. So everybody thinks it is some bloodthirsty procedure in which everybody is always killed. It's not about revenge. So these are the words by the comrades. It's not about revenge, it's about survival and saving future lives. So this is their mindset, okay, who are living inside the jungle areas. So it's actually the mindset of Maoists, okay, who are training people there. But here we are thinking it's totally in a different way. So everybody thinks it is some bloodthirsty procedure in which everybody is always killed. It's not about revenge, it's about survival and saving future lives. Of course, they would have killed many people. They would have killed many people, as like government killing people of Maoist Naxalites. They have also killed so many people, policemen and everybody. But there is a cause for that, okay? There is a cause for that. Boomkal celebration, it's actually the last one. Finally, when Arundhati Roy was there, they are celebrating, she comes to know they are celebrating Boomkal celebration for the earth, okay? Boomkal celebration, and people takes that celebration very seriously, and they are very happy in spending time in the celebration, okay? And people walk for days to come, so they all meet in one single place, okay? And people used to come in all sides of the places to Dantakaranya. I told you it's a forest called Dantakaranya, and they used to come from all the places. They used to walk for a long time. They don't have any transport facility inside the forest area. They used to walk a lot. Celebrations in all Dantakaranya divisions. So in every Dantakaranya divisions, no, they'll celebrate very well. Cultural, skit, talk, everything will be happen as we are celebrating here in any other celebrations. Happiness is taken very seriously here. So one of the comrade who is telling this, Venu comrade, he is the one who is telling the story. He says that happiness is taken very seriously. We take happiness very seriously like that. Okay, so there is a deep meaning inside that. Happiness is taken very seriously. So lastly, it's actually an interview given by Arundhati Roy.
In India's rural forests, mining corporations and state militias have launched a violent assault on the Maoist guerrillas and landless tribal communities. Activist and author Arundhati Roy spent weeks with the Maoist fighters in the conflict zone, and her time there is the subject of a new book called Walking with the Comrades. It's a first-hand account of the hidden side of the global economy and an analysis
You listen to it.
and often misunderstood armed movement. She joins us now